here at Earth and Earth. I'm just gonna grab a yoga mat. And I'm gonna set up the mat right here. And I'm gonna tell you to come on to your seat. Just a simple cross-legged position. And just start to pay attention to the breath. And just take a deep breath here. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Audible exhale. Take your second breath in through the nose. All the way to the top. Hold it in for 3, 2, 1. Audible exhale. Third one together. All the way to the top. Holding it in at the top. Relax the shoulders down for 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth side out. Continue with easy inhales and exhales through the nose. And just come up with your intention for practice today. Whatever you'd like for that to be. I'll just mention a few. Maybe it is that you want to have a really good day today. Maybe you are feeling like you want to give your energy to somebody that you love. Or maybe you're just wanting to have some self-reflection, maybe some gratitude, whatever that is that you would like to have be the intent for your practice today. You can bring that to the forefront of your mind, and you can repeat it a few times. Now that you've come up with your intention for practice, I'd like to just invite some movement into the fingers and some movement into the toes. And you can stay right here on your seat. You can keep your eyes closed, but I'm going to go ahead and mirror you in this. But you're going to go ahead and take a deep inhale at center. With your exhale, you can draw your chin over to your right shoulder, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. And one last inhale here. With your exhale, you can bring your face center, take a deep inhale at center. With your exhale, you can draw your chin over to your left shoulder, draw the shoulders down away from the ears, broaden the shoulders, chin parallel with the mat. And with your next exhale, you can bring your face center, take a deep inhale at center. With your exhale, you can jut your chin up and jut out your chin a few times, stretching the neck and throat. And then when you're feeling ready, you can draw the chin down towards the chest and stretch the back of the neck. And with your next exhale, coming to center, taking a deep inhale at center. With your exhale, you can draw your right hand down towards the ground, and you can bring your left arm up overhead, bringing the left hip down, opening up the left shoulder, bringing the gaze up towards the hand. You can have a slight bend in the right elbow. Don't forget to breathe here. One last full inhale here. And with your exhale, you can draw the left hand all the way down towards the ground, bringing the right hand up overhead, pressing the right hip down, opening up the right shoulder, bringing the gaze just under the right bicep. You can have a slight bend in the left elbow, so you can just feel the stretch on the side a little bit more. Don't forget to breathe. One last last inhale here. With your exhale, you can bring your right hand down towards the ground. You can blink your eyes open and come onto your hands and knees. Just a simple tabletop position. Wrist creases directly below the shoulder. I'm gonna grab another mat. Knees directly below the hips. And you can start to do just a few rounds of cat-cow. So with the inhale, you'll want to drop the belly, bring the gaze up. I think you scoot back a little more. And with the exhale, tucking the tailbone, bringing the chin in towards the chest, puffing the area between the shoulder blades, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. And with your inhale, dropping the belly, shining the heart forward, palms energetically reaching for the knees, sits bones reaching for the back of the room, tailbone reaching for the sky. And with your exhale, rounding into the spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest, tucking the tailbone, puffing the area between the shoulder blades. And with your inhale, coming into just our neutral tabletop and taking a moment to glance back at your right ankle. Shift your hips as far as you can towards the left. Give the right side body a little squeeze. And come to center. Take a look at the left ankle. Shift your hips as far as you can towards the right. You can get that little area between the bottom rib and the hip a little squeeze on the left-hand side. And then coming in to our neutral tabletop, taking just a few rounds of bird dog. You can start by letting the right leg float off the ground. You can flex into the right foot so much that the toes are pointed towards the left side of the room, lowering the right hip to meet the left. You can stay right here, or you can bring the left bicep by the ear, stretching the fingertips towards the front, kicking the heel towards the back. Maybe you can stretch the fingertips a little bit closer towards the front of the room and kick the heel a little further towards the back of the room. One last inhale here. With your exhale, you can release and come down or come into a crunch, keeping a flex into that right foot. For the left side, letting the left leg float up, flexing into the left foot so much that the toes are pointed towards the right side of the room, lowering the left hip to meet the right. Right bicep by the ear, stretching the fingertips towards the front of the room, kicking the heel towards the back, bringing the gaze up towards the hand, maybe raising the hand and the foot a little higher for 3, 2, and 1. You can connect the elbow to the opposite knee or come straight down. Right side, right leg floats up, left bicep by the ear, stretching the fingertips towards the front, kicking the heel towards the back, abs engaged. Bringing the gaze up towards the hand. Maybe you can raise the hand and foot up a little bit higher. For 3, 2, and 1. You can come down. Left side. Left leg floats up. Right bicep by the ear. Stretching the fingertips towards the front. Kicking the heel towards the back. Abs engaged. Bringing the gaze up. Maybe raising the hand and foot up a little bit higher. For 3, 2, and 1. Preparing for our child's pose, you can bring your knees towards the outer edges of the mat, letting the toes meet behind you, lowering the hips down towards the heels, lengthening the arms out in front of you, melting your forehead into the mat. You can take a deep inhale at center. With your exhale, walk the hands off of your mat towards the right. You can press left hip down towards the ground. Feeling the stretch all along the left side body. Don't forget to breathe. Forehead melts into the mat. One last inhale here. With your exhale, you can walk your hands to center. Take a deep inhale at center. With your exhale, walk your hands off of the mat towards the left. You can keep the arms parallel, drawing the right hip down towards the ground, melting the forehead into the mat, holding here. Don't forget to breathe. One last inhale here. With your exhale, you can walk your hands to center. Take a deep inhale at center. And with your exhale, you can press into the palms of your hands and come into our tabletop position, preparing for our twist. You can keep the left hand planted on the mat. Bring the right hand up and bring the gaze up towards the hand. Fingers spread wide, energy throughout the hands. And with your exhale, threading the needle, placing the right shoulder on the ground. You can keep the left hand in a kickstand. You can bring the left hand out directly in front of you. You can create a bind, wrapping the left hand behind the back and grasping the right thigh crease. Holding here, making it a little more active, pressing the back of the right hand and the back of the fingertips into the ground. Don't forget to breathe. One last inhale here. With your exhale, you can use your left hand to press the torso up. Bring the right hand up, fingers spread wide, gaze is up towards the hand. Pretend like I'm pressing up against the palm. And with your exhale, letting the right hand come down to meet the left. Preparing to even out our sides. You can keep the right hand planted. Bring the left hand up high, bring the gaze up towards the hand, fingers spread wide. And with your exhale, threading the needle, placing the left shoulder on the ground. You can keep your right hand in a kickstand, or you can bring your right hand out directly in front of you. Or if you did it on the opposite side, you can create a bind, wrapping the arm behind the back and grasping the left thigh crease. Holding here, don't forget to breathe. And making this a little more active, pressing the back of the left hand and the back of the fingertips into the ground. One last full inhale here. With your exhale, you can use your right hand to press the torso up. You can bring the left hand up, bringing the gaze up towards the hand and letting the left hand come back to meet the right on the ground. Preparing for our first downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide, index fingers parallel, pinkies reaching for the outer edges of your mat. You can start by drawing the toes to sit underneath you and then drawing your hips back towards your heels and then up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. And you can take a moment and pedal it out, drawing one heel down towards the floor and then the other. And then drawing the right heel down and then pressing into the left palm, into the index finger part of the palm, thumb bound all the way out to the pinky finger, evenly distributing the weight, creating a suction with the palm of your hand on the mat. And then letting the right heel float up, pressing the left heel down, pressing into the right palm, into the index finger part of the palm, thumb bound out to the pinky finger, creating a suction with the hand on the mat, holding here. And then letting the left heel float up off the ground and just coming into our normal downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide, index fingers are parallel, insides of the elbows are pointed towards the sky, shoulder blades reaching to kiss, the tailbone is reaching for the sky, and sits bones are reaching for the back of the room. There's a slight bend in the knees and the heels are gently reaching for the floor. Holding here. And with your next inhale, you can take a look at the top of your mat and walk, hop, or step your way to the front of your mat into a forward fold. And once there, you can lift the toes and separate, rooting into the floor. You can connect your hands to your opposite elbows and do a little sway. You can have a heavy bend in your knees and the torso can be resting in the lap. And coming into stillness, preparing for our half lift. You can bring your hands along your shins. Shoulders come away from the ears. Tuck the chin in slightly towards the chest. Crown of the head is pointed towards the front of the room. Sits bones reaching towards the back. Tailbone reaching for the sky. Holding here. Don't forget to breathe. And with your next exhale, keep the length and fold over your legs. Come into a forward fold. And then bend into the knees, round into the shoulders, and ragdoll your way into a standing position. And once there, you can step to the top of your mat. You can bring both arms up overhead, looking up towards your hands. With your exhale, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips, coming into a forward fold. With your inhale, half lift, hands come along the shins, shoulders come away from the ears. Exhale, bring the hands down towards the ground and coming into our tabletop position. Take a deep breath at the top. With your exhale, slowly lower the torso down towards the ground. Elbows come in towards the ribs and the torso comes down slowly. Once you come all the way down, you can press into the tops of the feet. Kneecaps lift up, pressing into the hips, lifting the torso up off the mat. Shoulder blades reaching to kiss. Elbows reaching for the bottom ribs, holding here for 3, 2, 1. You can bring the right ear down to the mat. Arms can rest heavy at your sides. Shoulders rounded, toes in, heels out. Preparing for another round of Cobra, you can start by bringing the hands just underneath the shoulders. Start by drawing the legs together, pointing into the toes, pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the kneecaps up, pressing into the hips, lifting the torso up off the mat. Shoulder blades reaching to kiss, elbows reaching for the bottom ribs, holding here for 3, 2, give me a little raise. Nice. And 1, you can come all the way down. Bring the left ear down towards the mat. You can let your shoulders round. Arms can rest heavy at your sides. Toes in, heels out. You can separate the knees and kick the heels up towards the ceiling and windshield wiper the knees to the left and to the right. A few times back and forth. And then coming into stillness. And with your exhale, you can slowly press the floor away and come into our tabletop position, preparing for our downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide, index fingers are parallel. You can draw the toes up underneath you. Hips come back towards the heels and then up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Come into your best downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide. Index fingers are parallel. The insides of the elbows are pointed towards the sky. Shoulder blades reaching to kiss. Low part of the belly is touching the top part of the thigh. There's a slight bend in the knees and the heels are gently reaching for the floor. Tailbone is reaching for the sky. Holding here. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Into stillness. With your next inhale, raise the right leg up high. You can point into the toes, maybe drawing the left heel down to the floor just a little bit more. And with your exhale, drawing the right hip down to meet the left and then bringing the right leg all the way through, placing the right foot by the right hand. You might want to wiggle that foot forward. You just want to make sure that the ankle is below the knee. You can keep the left hand planted and bring the right hand up all the way. Right shoulder stacks on top of left, gaze is up towards the right hand. Fingers are spread wide. Maybe you can drop into the hips a little bit more for 3, 2, and 1. You can lower the left hand down towards the ground. You can come onto the left knee And you can start to flex into the right foot, lengthening the left leg. With the inhale, try to elongate the spine. And with the exhale, fold over the leg, keeping the length. 2 more times just like that. With your inhale, try to elongate. And with your exhale, fold. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, fold. And hold here for 3 breaths. With your last exhale, you can come onto the right foot, walk both hands to the inside of the right foot. You're gonna wipe the right foot out to the edge of your mat. And you wanna have a nice low stance here. And you wanna make sure that the knee is extending out past the ankle here. And you wanna be stretching your left psoas, holding here. Just focus on the breath. You can always come down to the forearms if you need a little bit more of a stretch. One last inhale here. With your exhale, you can come onto the ball of the back of the left foot, and you can bring the right leg back to meet the left, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, you can lift the left leg up high, point into the toes. You can drop the right heel down, and then lower the left leg down to meet the right, and bring the left leg all the way through, placing the left foot by the left hand. You can keep the right hand planted. You can bring the left hand up, left shoulder stacks on top of right, fingers spread wide, energy throughout the hand, gazes up towards the hand. See if you can drop into the hips just a little bit more. For 3, 2, 1. You can lower the left hand down to meet the right, and you can come onto your right knee. You can lengthen into the left leg and flex into the left foot. You can bring your hands to either side of your leg, and with the inhale, try to elongate the spine. And with your exhale, keep the length and fold over your leg. With the inhale, elongate the spine. And with the exhale, fold and hold here. Linda's snoring. And with your inhale, elongate. And with your exhale, fold and hold here. Don't forget to breathe. Just 3 more rounds of breath. With your last exhale, you can come onto the left foot. You can move both hands to the inside of the left leg. And we are in a bit of a lizard's lunge here. And you just want to make sure again that the knee isn't extending out past the ankle and that you have a nice stretch in your right psoas area. So you can settle in here for a few moments. You can stay on your hands or you can come onto the forearms. You can stay in stillness or do just a little sway side to side. Holding here. One last full inhale. With your exhale, you can come on to the ball of the right foot and lift the body up and bring the left leg back to meet the right, downward facing dog. And now you can come down towards your knees. You can bring your legs around to your favorite side and come down to your seat. Just a simple seat here, and we're going to lower the vertebra down to the mat one at a time in this boat pose, letting it be the slowest thing we've done yet. until you come all the way down. You can hug both knees into the chest and do a little sway side to side. And then come into stillness. You can bring the left knee in towards the chest. You can let the right leg come out long. Preparing for our twist. You can slowly release the hold you have on the left leg, walking the right hand to the outside the left knee. The left knee comes across your mat towards the right hand side in a twist, keeping the left shoulder blade glued to the mat. You can keep the left knee hovered above the ground. And we're in our twist. In our twist, the right leg is relaxed underneath you. The right hip is reaching for the left. The right bottom rib is reaching for the left bottom rib. And the right armpit is reaching for the left armpit. Twisting at the midline, detoxing, aiding in digestion. Holding here for 3 slow rounds of breath. Luna's snoring. With your last exhale, you can engage your abs, letting the left knee float towards the top, and then hugging the left knee in towards the chest, giving it a nice squeeze. And preparing to even out our sides, you can lower the left leg down towards the ground. You can bring the right knee in towards the chest, give it a nice squeeze. And then slowly releasing the hold you have on the right leg, walking the left hand to the outside the right knee. The right knee comes across your mat towards the left hand side in a twist, keeping your right shoulder blade planted on the ground. You can let the right knee hover off the ground. You can keep your left hand on top of your right knee. And you can close your eyes and keep your gaze towards the ceiling, or you can bring it towards your right hand. Just slowing the breath. With each inhale, you can feel the belly expand, and with each exhale, you can feel the twist just a little bit more at the midline. Holding here. The left hip is reaching for the right. The left bottom rib is reaching for the right bottom rib. And the left armpit is reaching for the right armpit. Holding here for 3 slow rounds of breath. With your last exhale, you can bring the right knee up, engaging the abs, and then hugging both knees into the chest, doing a little sway side to side. You can do circles with the knees. And I invite you to come into a closing happy baby. You can reach through the inner parts of your thighs, grasping the outer sole ridges of the feet and kicking the heels up towards the ceiling. Drawing the hands down, the knees come a little bit closer towards the ribs. And you can stay in stillness or do a little sway side to side. And then come into stillness, and you can slowly let the soles of the feet meet, and then lower the sword edges of the feet down towards the ground. You can keep the knees open wide like a book. You can reach for the sides of your mat and center yourself on your mat. You can bring your hips a little bit closer towards the heels, and you can draw your shoulders down away from the ears, wrapping the shoulder blades up underneath the back. You can keep your arms wide at your sides, palms facing up to receive. Or you can place your right hand on your belly and your left hand in your heart. Coming back to your breath, coming back to your body, coming back to your intention for practice. I'd like for you to recall what your intention intention was for practice and bring it to the forefront of your mind. And then with that, I invite you to come into your Shavasana. You can lengthen your legs out on the mat. You can let your feet flop out wide. You can let your arms come wide at your sides. And at this time, I invite you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you feel like you want the rest or until you feel like you're ready to move. But I just wanted to thank you for joining me in this practice.